Chapter 4 of The Prince is called Why the Kingdom of Darius, conquered by Alexander, did not rebel against his successors after his death. Machiavelli addresses a historical example, the success of the ancient Greeks in maintaining the empire of Alexander the Great after his death. He elaborates upon principalities governed by ministers appointed by the prince, and those that are governed by noble families with their own claims to land and power, using the example of France and the empire of Darius III of Persia, whom Machiavelli refers to as the Turk. Whereas France had a king at the time, it also had many other nobles who had some ancestral claim to the land they inhabited. The power of these nobles did not depend solely on the will in favor of the king. In contrast, the Persian Empire, Machiavelli refers to it as the Turkish Empire, was governed by appointed ministers whose power was given to them by the prince, so they had no influence beyond what the prince provided them. Places like France are easier to take but more difficult to maintain. On the other hand, places like Persia are harder to take, but easier to maintain. The fact that the various nobles of France were independently powerful relative to the king meant that they could provide substantial support to a foreign invader. However, upon conquering it, the prince will be indebted to the powerful nobles who helped him take power. This debt will be a constant threat to the prince. In the case of Persia, the appointed ministers did not have their own power and could not provide substantial support to a foreign invader. Plus, their own power and interests were dependent upon the emperors. Upon conquering it, the prince would not automatically be indebted to anyone in the new territory and could not appoint ministers dependent on him to govern. Machiavelli argues that the relative difficulty of conquering and holding each place depends on how much power those below the prince have to pursue their own independent interests. In each case, the reasons why the principality is easy or hard to conquer and hold relate to the fact that people are motivated by their own self-interests. Machiavelli refrains from making sweeping judgments about which methods are superior. The prince is meant to discuss how things are rather than how things should be.